YouTube, this video is filmed on August 15th of 2021. This video will not be uploaded until December. And I say that because this video is going to be a really long one. It's going to be about the 15-minute mark, and I do not have a phone number at the time, so I can actually be able to call in or get the code number so I can do it myself. But other than that, let's get into this video. We'll just leave this here. And during this battle, I'm gonna talk. So, in the comments below, say what Marvel movie you're actually ready for it to come out. Me, I'm ready for Venom: Let There Be Carnage to come out in September, but not like. And then I'm also ready for the new Spider-Man movie to come out. I'm also ready for Shanghai to come out. That's either this month or next month. And then I'm also ready for Into the Spider-Verse to come out in 2022. Or it was 2023, it was one of the two. But I'm ready for those Marvel movies to come out. I've been watching Loki, but I haven't been able to finish it yet. But when I get the chance, I'm going to finish watching Loki. I watched bits and pieces of WandaVision. I watched bits and pieces of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I just couldn't get into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But other than that, yeah, that's about it. Because I know that there are way more Marvel movies that are coming out in the next few years, and a lot more shows that are coming out. I think it would be cool if, like, they made a Captain America show where, while he was in his different reality with his perfect reality, after Endgame, where he was making that, where he wasn't always home. Like, they knew that he was Captain America, so they called him every once in a while to do what they made him to do, practically. And, like, he was able to stay home for long periods of time, but when they needed him, he would be there. If you get what I'm saying. And then there's also, I've been told that there's going to be a new Iron Man movie as well. So I'm really excited for that to come out too. But, like, it was going to be his daughter playing as Iron Man. So that's going to be interesting. And they've also been talking about bringing Iron Man back. But, like, during Endgame, I just didn't understand why they just didn't, like, bring back Loki, because they had the time stone and they had the space stone. And then what you also had was when Thor and Rocket went into 2012 when they went to go get the ether. They could have grabbed Loki as well, because it was right before his mom would have died, because they saw his mom. Thor saw his mom, and right before that was all right before it all happened, because Loki was still in his prison. So if they would have brought Loki with them because they had extra suits and stuff, Loki would have been in their time frame again. And then since they made the show Loki off of the Endgame right after where Loki picked up the Space Stone, he could have gone to a different area where the Time Stone was and grabbed the Time Stone and then gone back up and then gone into the future pretty much. But that's civilian logic. It's not strategy. It's not human being logic. It's like human being logic is actually really good, and like it's all based on practical nonsense, I think. But not all nonsense is nonsense, right? And another thing that I think, my bad, is that a lot of things can happen in the MCU. But ever since Stan Lee died, it's just like, oh, we're just gonna make TV shows now and expand the MCU that way and not do anything else. Because the MCU can be great. It really can be. And everything about the MCU is freaking amazing. I love Marvel more than I love DC, and DC actually has some really good graphics and shit. And I don't know if you guys just saw that, but my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced character was glitching it out of the screen. That was cool. But yeah, the MCU can be great. It's just that ever since Stan Lee died, they're like weary on what they can do because they don't have him there telling them what all needs to be done. And that's the sad thing, is that I think Stan Lee, well, granted he was 96 when he passed away, I just think that he passed a little bit too early. Like, it would have been good to see him in Far From Home and then like that there. I mean, he's had enough cameos that they could continue to put him in there. Just like react and then take out that cameo, put it in this one, and then be like, he's still here. Because he's been in the MCU forever. And it's just like he gets up and passes away, and it's just like, wow. It's insane on how much these characters, on how much people grow and get famous, and then once when they're at their best and their peak, they pass away. It's sad. And like, I really wish that Stan Lee would have been, like I said, been in Far From Home. And like, granted, since he was in Venom, it would have been cool to see him in Venom 2. But not all things. I mean, that would have been a little bit later, because since it's this, and he passed in 2020 or 2019, it was one of the two as well. But yeah, I think it would have been good to see him in all those movies, like all the fresh upcoming movies that are coming out, and it's sad just to see him. And as of Stan Lee's legacy, I plan on naming my firstborn son Stan Lee. And that's a promise. I'm gonna name my son Stan Lee. Straight up, I'm gonna name my son Stan Lee. Well, like, ever since Venom came out, I've been waiting for Carnage to come out, because that end scene was like, let there be Carnage. I was like, bro, they're making a movie on Carnage. And then I already know that, and then you already gotta think that So Carnage might possibly turn into a good guy because of the fact that Venom was a bad guy. And then I know that Carnage is a murderer and all those other things, but Venom might have been like a little bit more open to that kind of stuff, like helping the human race, because he actually liked to hear Carnage was built from anger and wanted to kill people. And then so if they were to persuade Carnage to be good, then he could possibly help Venom fight Riot or all the other symbiotes that are actually more worse than Carnage. So yeah, the Venom series will continue to go on because you got other symbiotes out there, and it's insane on how well that Marvel actually creates the symbiote things. I'm waiting for them to make this symbiote supreme, because then that would be really cool to see. Because like the symbiote supreme is so awesome, and it's insane. And like they were supposed to make a Black Panther too, but like who's gonna be able? Because he has to give the throne to somebody. So who's gonna replace the Black Panther? He's only done one movie with Marvel. Or actually, I take that back. He's done 4 movies with Marvel. But like that's not enough things for him to say, "Oh yeah, I've done this." And like that's not really enough for him to say, "I know what I want in life. This is what I want. I want this." And like there's not very many people that can go out there and say that, because he also died at a very young age. He died of I don't remember what he died of, but he died of something, and it was very sad to see him go. And I really wish that he didn't go that way. He didn't go the way that he did, because he was very young and he still had a lot of life ahead of him. So how are they going to be able to make Black Panther 2 and moving forward from that? Because if they don't make Black Panther 2, then there's a lot going on there. And that being said, there's a lot that Marvel can still do with the MCU, and it not necessarily is going to be a good thing or bad thing. I mean, if they make Black Panther 2, and what they could also do is put his younger sister as queen, which I'm pretty sure that's what they were planning on doing anyways, because she's next in line for the throne. And in Wakanda, they believe that no girl shall be his, so she will be instantly granted the throne of Wakanda. And yeah, well, I think I've done enough talking, and I've done enough gameplay, so I'm gonna end this video here. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because I'm dropping bangers back to back for the rest of 2021 as much as left. Well,